Thought it might be helpful for some of you who are having trouble with these Centroid problems to go ahead and do a few extra examples and post them on Canvas. For the kids who are in class tomorrow, I'll make sure that everybody knows that these are here. This is not an assignment, it's just some extra examples in case you need them. All right, so watch the ones you need, fast forward through the ones that you don't need. I'm just going to work each one of these. All right, example number 1, you can see the triangle that we're given. We are told that RL is 21, so I'm going to mark that. That is the entire length of a median. And we are asked to find LS. If you look at the picture, LS is the longer portion of the median, so we're going to use the formula for the long piece. So that would be LS, the long piece, is 2/3 of the way, all the way across that median. Once we have the formula figured out, then substitute in what we know. Well, we know that RL is 21. I'm going to write it as a fraction. Remember, when you multiply fractions, you can multiply straight across, or we can do a little canceling first. 3 into 3 goes once. 3 into 21 goes 7 times. So our answer is 2 times 7, or 14. The length from L to S is 14 units. All right, number 2, example 2. And you can pause the video at any time. I'm not going to spend a long time going through and checking. You can check these to make sure that 1/3 and 2/3 of the distance all the way across, it does match with the arithmetic. I'm just going to keep working the problems. In example 2, we're given that SQ is 4, and we are asked to find NQ. NQ is the entire median. SQ is the shorter piece of that median, so we'll use the formula for the short piece. So the formula is short piece, SQ is 1/3 of the way, all the way across. So 1/3 of NQ. Substitute in what you know. SQ is 4. And then solve for NQ. To eliminate the 1/3 from that right-hand side of the equation, we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by the reciprocal of the fraction. And we get that 12 equals NQ. And that's what we were trying to find. It is 12 units all the way across the median. All right, example number 3. New triangle. Whoa, stay over there. This time we are given KZ. Here's K to Z. And it is 16 units. We are asked to find KW. So if you compare those, KW is the entire length. From K to Z is the longer piece of that length. So we'll use the formula for the long piece. KZ is 2/3 of the way, all the way across. Substitute in what we know, 16. Get rid of that 2/3 by multiplying both sides by the reciprocal of 2/3. Now either multiply straight across, 3 times 16, and then divide by 2. Or just as a reminder, we can do a little canceling. 2 into 2 once, 2 into 16 8 times. 3 times 8 is 24. On the right-hand side, you get 6/6, which is 1, so they cancel out. So the length all the way across is 24 units. Example number 4. We are given L2x. Let's find that. All right, this time we're given the entire length. L to x is 15. And we are asked to find from z to x. From z to x is the shorter piece of that median. So we'll use the formula for the short piece. Z to x is 1/3 of the way, all the way across. Substitute in what we know. So 1/3 of 15. And this time we can just multiply. 1/3 of 15 is 5. So that short piece is 5 units long. Now those 4 were very much like the first 8 problems on the worksheet. So hopefully if you had a little trouble with those first 8, these 4 will help you out a little bit. I am going to go ahead and work 2 more examples. On Tuesday in class, we did not work any that had variables in them. So these will be like the new ones that we take a look at on Wednesday. So we might as well go ahead and see if we can attack them. We're going to start out with the same strategy. All right, in example 5, we are given JV. Find JV and label it. It is 3x minus 6. We are also given the length from V to E. That's interesting. V to E is 2x minus 7. And we're supposed to find x. All right, there are going to be several ways we could probably approach this. I'm trying to think what would be the quickest way. Let's try this. This is a little outside of how we've done the other ones. But I think if you've been thinking through and going with the arithmetic and how the 1/3 and the 2/3 work, I think this might make some sense to you. If the 2x minus 7, if the EV is 1/3 of the way all the way across, and the V to J is 2/3 of the way all the way across, if we compare those fractions, if 1/3 of the way is 2x minus 7, 2/3 would be 2 times that. 2/3 of the way. If 1/3 is 2x minus 7, 2/3 of the way would be 2 times that. But 2/3 of the way is also 3x minus 6. So let's see what happens when we set those equal to each other. This isn't using a formula, this is using a little logic. If 1/3 of the way across is 2x minus 7, then 2/3 would be twice that. But according to the formula, 2/3 of the way is also 3x minus 6. So they should be equal. Let's solve it and see what we get. 4x minus 14 is 3x minus 6. If we subtract 3x from both sides of the equation, we'll get an x on the left. And if we add 14 to both sides of the equation, we get an 8 on the right. So they're asking us to find x. We find out that x equals 8. Let's take a look at what those values would be if we plug them in to the 2x minus 7 and the 3x minus 8. That will help us check things out a little bit. If we put the 8 into 2x minus 7, 2x, that would be 2 times 8, that's 16, and 16 minus 7 is 9. and 3x minus 6. 3 times 8 is 24. 24 minus 6 is 18. And if we compare those, one part is 9, 2 parts is 18. That makes sense mathematically, that if 1/3 of the way across is 9, then 2/3 is twice that. 2/3 is 18. So it does make sense with numbers, with the number sense. Mathematically, it does make sense. All right, let's look at example 6. Now, this is the first time I've looked at this one, so let's see what we have, see what we can do with it. All right, KL. Here's our KL, and it is 4x minus 8. If we look at that, that is the longer piece of that median. So that is the one that's 2/3 of the way across. KB is the entire thing, and that is 3x plus 12. So what we're looking at is an expression for the long piece, an expression for the entire median. I think we can use a formula for this one. The longer piece of the median, KL, is 2/3 of the way all the way across. That would be KB. Now let's substitute in the values. KL is 4x minus 8, is 2/3 of the way, and KB was 3x plus 12. I think we can go ahead and distribute that 2/3 and we'll be just fine. So let's not get rid of it. Let's just leave it there and distribute it. 2/3 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Divided by 3 is 2, so 2x. And 2 times 12 is 24. Divided by 3 is 8. So when we distribute the 2/3, we get 2x plus 8. Keep solving for x. We get 2x on the left. Add an 8 to both sides. 2x equals 16. Divide by 2, x equals 8. That is what they ask us to find. Let's go up and check and see if it makes sense with the arithmetic, with the numbers in the picture. Okay, if x is 8, 4 times 8 minus 8 is 32 minus 8, or 24. So it's saying that this longer piece is 24. The entire length would be 3 times 8 plus 12. That's 24 plus 12, or 36, all the way across. And if 2/3 of the way all the way across is 24, then half of that, 1/3 of the way, would be 12. And 12 and 24 is 36. So with the numbers, it all makes sense. Hopefully those 6 examples helped you out a little bit more with what we did on Tuesday, and then also what you're going to be working on Wednesday. Hope to see you in class.